Hello, everybody. It's Bishop Cass. I know you're not used to me doing intros, but I wanted to kind of set some context for this. Um, March 2nd, the message that I preached was Panda, which you'll get to hear is the next one that's released. Um, but before I preached that message, God had me share just something from the heart. And you know how some pastors just talk before the message and they move on. As I was listening back to it, I I felt like it was wise for us to make sure that we have this on record, and also something to listen back to over these next few months. As many of you know, 2023 to 2025 has been a year or 2 years, 18 months of changes, trials, triumphs, difficulties, and also a time of a lot of questioning. But I believe God has something for us, and I know God has something for us. But we just have to remain faithful to what we are doing. So to those of you who are listening who are part of Vision House, thank you so much. For those of you who are just listening, who have been getting fed by the word, thank you so much. Just ultimately we need your prayers, we need your support in any form that you feel led to give it. And ultimately we're in this together. And we have to trust God and have faith to move forward. So I'm gonna take you now into this moment, this beautiful moment that happened on March 2nd, 2025.
I
God
am
bless you.
grateful that God has sustained us. I think one of the biggest battles in this day and age is how many people are all these things as a matter of success. But God has still chosen to sustain us. God has still chosen to honor us even in the difficult times. And, just these past few months alone have taught me that even in the midst of chaos, God is still good. Even in the midst of rebuilding, God is still good. Even in the midst of healing, God is still good. I say that right now because even though we're rebuilding, we are a church that is also healing. We're healing because of everything that was lost. We're healing because we no longer have our co-pastor. We're healing because we are being put in a new position, in a new territory. And I know, at least for me, I'm very hesitant to move things or to take a risk because, we all know this, you don't want to get hurt again. But a wise person, he's back there, reminded me, have faith. Have faith. Trust God. And even though it's not how it was in 2021, 2022 when we had 20 people and all these other things, God is giving us the opportunity to heal and to demonstrate, because I've always talked about demonstration, right? We're supposed to walk in, we're supposed to demonstrate the things that God does, not just talk about it. But we have this opportunity. It's not even a blank canvas, because what a lot of artists would do way back, they couldn't just go to the store and get canvas. So they would take old paintings and then they would paint over them, and then they would start something fresh. There's something you can do with a laser or with special lights that you can see all the layers of art that sit behind that final piece that you see hanging in the art museum. Because even though there's something there's still the ability to have a foundation. And that canvas is not wasted. The canvas that God has given us is not wasted. That in the midst of, again, we're healing. But what I love about the blood of Jesus just popped in my head. The blood of Jesus, how can something red wash something white as snow? That God has given us the opportunity to start again, to start fresh. And to be willing to take the faith steps to do the things that we are still going to need to do. So my prayer has been for here, for Lancaster. Because the more I try to run away, the Lord won't let it go. My prayer is not that we pick up where we left off. Because where we left off is where we left off. It's that God empowers us to fully grasp on being who we're called to be. Because there's a place. There's a place for us here in Lancaster, here in Southeast Ohio. That even though we're painting over the canvas, that foundation of building and equipping, that foundation of walking in agape love has not left. That foundation of being fearless has not left. But now what God is wanting to do with us is mold us into something bigger than what we've dreamed up or imagined. I don't know what that bigger looks like. All I know is what God showed me and the direction that we're going. The biggest thing is we must fulfill the vision and the mandate that God has called for us to have. But in this season, in this phase right now, we are a church that is rebuilding and healing. And in essence, healing is rebuilding. You get a cut, everything, your resources go to that cut, and the first goal of healing is what? Make a protective covering over the cut, so that way the inner body can do the rest. And even from that, because we like to pick at scars and stuff, if you pick at it enough, it's going to leave a reminder. We might have those reminders, but that reminder is not about, oh, we did this, oh, this failed, oh, that failed. It's a reminder that God can still make broken things new. God can still make broken things new. If he can do it for people, he can surely do it for a church. That he can take the fragments of something and make something new and something beautiful out of it. And that is what we have to cling to. That is what we have to hold on to. Here we are rebuilding, we are replanting, we have moved ourselves to different soil, we are in a different place. But the beauty of it is if we are faithful to this, God will bless us with more. But it can't be faithfulness in a way that is self-serving. It has to be faithfulness because this is what you know in your heart that God's called for you to do. And I was fussing about, I was like, I don't know. And God was like, how can you say you built something when you haven't put your hand to the plow? I was like, Lord, I'm like, no, no. Okay, you do the services and stuff. Put the word out. Talk to people. Now, the growth of a church is not just on one person; it's on all of us. And there is a people. There are people who need what we have. So the beautiful thing is, yes, doing this stuff is good, but we have to stay faithful to the call, stay faithful to what God is calling us to do as a ministry. Because I tell you, for 2 months, I was in Gorsuch West. 2 months. And I can tell you beyond a shadow of a doubt, there are people who need what God is giving us. So now what we have to do, that's not Pando. What we have to do as a body, what we have to do as a ministry, is to make sure that we commit to our hearts that we are going to rebuild and we are going to heal, so that way we can become the fullness that we need to be. I know I make that commitment. Because I was literally sitting back here, I'm like, Lord, Lord, I know you got on me about being faithful. Okay. I'm like, God, just let some people show up. Let God, I just pray for. I was in my head praying for everybody, and here y'all walk in. I'm like, the faithful crew, the faithful three, no matter what.